right, we are live. Thank you for tuning into the OSA podcast, Ocean State Athlete Podcast, presented by SFB and RI. I'm your host, Nico. My good buddy, C-Bone, is a co-host. And yes, we are together for this episode. So it's pretty interesting to be in the same room as each other for this one.
Yeah, I had to do a little bit of a change for this one, but either way, show's going to go on. Today we're having on Aidan Robinson representing Bishop Hendricken High School, playing lacrosse for them. And he'll be coming on the show later on, but we'll start things off with the main talk of the week so far has been coming up on the year with COVID, as we're only 2 days away from the official shutdown of everything. March 13th was the official day that schools were shut down, and it was actually today that the NBA was indefinitely shut down. So Nico, reflect to me on that, on how it's already been a year.
Yeah, time flies, but yeah, it was a long year, to say the least. It was a long, tough year. I'm sure everybody can agree with that. I remember when all of us texted each other when the NBA got shut down for the year. I think that was really the eye opener of the past year, knowing that if something as big as the NBA, if they're taking the precautions and shutting down, then what's going to happen to us? And I remember leaving March 13th, nobody knew why we were getting dismissed in school. We just got out 15 minutes early, went home. I remember we had a quarantine for 2 weeks. We thought that we were going to go right back to school right after those 2 weeks. I thought everything was going to be fine, but turns out distance learning came in and stuff, and then we were still home, and here we are now, still home. I mean, I'm at home doing school right now.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I remember I didn't even go into school that day because I was already like, you know what? Little on edge with all this stuff, and little did we know all this stuff goes and crazy. And I was doing some research, and even when Rudy Gobert was the first NBA player to catch COVID, he was still ready to play that game. So people were still thinking, oh, even though we got COVID, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. He can still play. Little did we know, domino effect, one after another. Next thing you know, multiple NBA players got it, and then next thing you know, cancellation. I remember seeing some of the old clips of Mark Cuban, how surprised he looked from the cancellation.
I think it was mid-game too. We figured out that.
Yeah, it was mid-game. I'm pretty sure they were playing the Trailblazers, if I can remember. I also remember the Oklahoma City Thunder game was 5 minutes before tip-off. I'm pretty sure they were playing Denver, and they just called the game before it even started. And I can remember the announcer was saying, everyone is safe, just please exit the arena safely and easily, everything's fine. And little did we know we'd be in quarantine and basically lockdown for about, I'd say 4 months straight, until things started to ease up a little bit. But we're still living the life of COVID a year from now, and it just seems like yesterday that all this happened. I can remember basically everything that went down that was a major impact in COVID from the past year. I can just remember clearly, it was yesterday.
Right. And here we are. It's crazy to think it's been a year. Oh, well, almost a year, but yeah, we're still doing the same thing we've been doing. Nothing's really changed. I think everyone's life kind of went on pause for a little while during this crazy time for the benefit of everybody else, but who knows? Hopefully we shake this soon.
Yeah, I mean, we still had life going well. I mean, right now, I mean, far from normal. I mean, masks and even sports and everything is still completely different in the way we live and just play sports and whatnot. But even as a high school kid, I mean, it's not as bad as what it first was, because when we first started, it was no one really gave a crap about school, or the teachers. Even the teachers would just give all the assignments, here, get it done whenever. Now everything's a little more disciplined and more regimen. And sports, I mean, at least we're getting sports. I mean, football's underway. Football games are starting up in the next couple of weeks, which is good to see. Even be able to get to hopefully see or maybe record and broadcast some of those, which would be good. And then right after that, we also have volleyball that's going on right now, girls volleyball. And then after that, we're right into things with spring. We're talking lacrosse, track. What else is there? Boys baseball, softball, and boys tennis. And after that, I mean, summer, and then hopefully a more normal summer than what we saw last summer. As last summer was still filled with masks. I mean, I still think that we'll be wearing masks for a long time, but hopefully we can see what last summer happened, even with sports and just life in general. Hopefully just take another bounce and hopefully see an improvement and taking steps forward rather than taking steps backwards.
Right.
And some more things now to get off the COVID. We had the RI High School Coaches Association helped along with our guy Justin to bring an all-star game for these seniors, which was good to see. I also have golf in the spring too. Mike Sosha putting that in the comments. But we had the all-star game for hockey. That was for some of the best seniors in the Division I and the Division II level. It was great to see all of them get out there one last time, play with their guys, got to see some of the coaches. Personally got to interview some of the players as well as the coaches. Was great to see. And what's your thoughts on being able to have just like one last game, even though it was for fun, just with your guys?
I think that was a great idea. Putting it all together, great job to the people in charge of organizing that, and while keeping everybody safe during this difficult time. But I thought it was cool how you could play on the same team as your guys from the normal season, and also be introduced to more of a like another style from another high school mixed with other players. And I mean, that's the best in division. You're there. They all, I know that they're all competitors. They all wanna compete. They all want to win. They all want to be the best hockey players they can all be. So it's definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, we also saw some more like laid back and just some fun hockey. As in some of the later games, we saw some of the goaltenders trying to just take it up the ice and trying to score. Shout out to Matt Carenti and Ethan Cody that were trying to do that. I mean, that was fun to see. And we saw the last game ended a shootout. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. And they had some fun, had some cross-team rivalries, some of the players from North Smithfield going up against Cody and that, which was pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
But just the whole aspect of seeing 3-on-3 hockey, it just brings back to like every like hockey fan's dream growing up of just being on a pond rules, playing 3-on-3, no body checking, just all stick work, and then just 3-on-3 is just everything. What is just awesome. No icing calls. You can do whatever you want, and it just seemed awesome to be a part of something like that.
Right. And since it was more of a laid back atmosphere, they all had the main goal was they all had something to take away from this crazy high school year. Their senior year, they were able to have a little fun at the end with being with their friends, being with the best of the best players. And obviously, like you said, more of like a 3-on-3, no body checks, more stick work. Everybody get to display what they really had, even goalies. So I think it was definitely like more of like a showcase, and I think the players kind of need that. It gave them a shot to really show the viewers on our live stream and in person what they had or what they've been saving up all this time.
Yeah, it was also good to see some of the kids that couldn't really finish out their high school careers. Some of the kids from Hendricken, they had 3 representing. There was one of the forwards from Mount St. Charles, as well as a couple of the kids I saw. I'm pretty sure there was 3 or 4 from Barrington. So even though their seasons got cut short, it was still good to see them on the ice one last time, and whatever they do after high school, which I'm guaranteeing a lot of them will still be continuing hockey, as they're some of the best players in the state, and even being from a small state in Rhode Island, name still gets out there. So yeah, just wrapping up on that, I think it was great. I think that RI High School Hockey did a great job with that, as well as SFBN RI, RWIL, everyone that was involved with that. I think they did a great job in really showcasing the players. And a little bit of insider, we're looking to hopefully, fingers crossed, do this with all the sports around the state, even such as football coming up, maybe even girls volleyball. And talking football, I mean, it'd be good to see some of these kids get out there. Like, yes, there have been some like senior bowls in the past, but it's not really like talked about as much. I mean, you get a couple kids from each school to do it, but I think like such as the all-star game, like that they had in hockey, if they can do that for football and then come spring for like baseball and lacrosse, I think that'd be great for the kids to go out one last time.
Right, and I think if they told us now ahead of time, I think all the players would really strive for their best, because everybody wants to play in an all-star game. Everybody wants to be known as one of the best players in their division, even in their sport around town. It's maybe we can have fans go watch. Be cool, to have players and their friends be able to go watch and root them on. So I think it would be a great idea for spring sports for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely see something hopefully for football. I mean, football's a lot more of a high contact sport, but maybe even having something small, like I was saying with the Senior Bowl, maybe only having a couple of kids from each team represent. But even if you can't watch it live, at least being able to watch it on SFBN on YouTube would be ideal.
Right.
And also the interviewing aspect. I mean, I interviewed a lot. Me and my buddy Mike Bogosian, we had a lot of great interviews, and we interviewed a lot of great players. And just hearing what they have to say, either reflecting on the season or just reflecting on being able to represent their school in such a big atmosphere, was good to see. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to bring on our guest for tonight's show.
All right, we're back. Thank you for tuning in to the OSA podcast, Ocean State Athlete Podcast, presented by SFBNRI. Once again, I'm Nico, my good buddy Chris, my co-host. And Chris, what do we have coming up next?
Coming on the show right now, we have Aidan Robinson representing Bishop Hendricken High School, being a lacrosse midfielder, and we'd like to welcome Mom onto the show right now. How's it going, man?
What's going on, Aidan?
What's going on, guys?
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you taking time out of your day for us.
Sure.
So basically, what's been going on? You know, it's been a hectic year for sports and just life in general. So what have you been doing?
I've been working out, just trying to get my body right for the season. Big season coming up without having a junior year, and the boys are getting ready. I think we have a really strong class this year, so I think we can make a run for the title, which is good.
Nice.
That's good. I know Hendricken is always one of those teams every year that has that chance, and hopefully seeing you guys being able to compete with some of these big dogs such as LaSalle and Moses Brown, I think you'll be able to do it this year.
Yeah, our 21 class is pretty strong. Moses Brown has a couple good guys, so does LaSalle, but I think if we can build chem and just play and have fun, I think we have a shot to really do some damage.
So, yeah, talk to me. I mean, I know lacrosse is a huge aspect in your life, and what have you been doing recently to better yourself in the sport?
I mean, just hitting the wall. Like, I know it sounds fundamental. You got to get that lefty ready for, dodge and stuff like that. You can't stay righty the whole time, or vice versa. You can't stay lefty the whole time. You got to work on both hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. And you playing midfield right now. I remember playing with you for CLCF back when we were in like, I think it was like third grade, maybe to like fifth grade. But I always remember you'd always be like a multi-position kid. I remember like you used to step in net a few times. You'd play some defense. So are you have you worked at the pole anymore since like then coming up?
I haven't touched a pole since 8th grade. I've been offensive mid. Yeah. But
yeah.
I remember playing with you guys. That brings back a bunch of memories. But yeah, those were the good days. But now it's, you can't really be switching in and out of plays.
Right,
you gotta learn it. But remember playing defense, that helps me getting back on D mid. Just some of the schemes that reminds me of playing pole again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talk to me about some of the club programs that you've played with over the years. I know that club has been a huge aspect, especially not being able to play much high school because of COVID and whatnot. So talk to me about club lacrosse and how it's helped you and benefited you.
3D. I mean, 3D, as you guys know, or if you don't, it went under. But, it gave kids just another shot to play in the summer and just get more exposed. But the coaches there, they want you to succeed. They don't want you to, just show up and play. They want you to work. They want you to be like the best version of yourself and go put a couple guys come together and compete in the summer, which we did.
Yeah, it was good. I remember seeing you guys up there, up at tournaments when we were neighboring teams. Shout out Coach Scherer on that one. Great guy. But talk to me about some of the earlier aspects to lacrosse on how it all started for you.
I was playing baseball and I just kept I didn't know how to really play, so I'd guard. I'd be in the batting box too close to the plate and I'd get hit. And I looked at my mom. I'm like, I'm done with this. I gotta find something new. And she saw one of our family friends was playing lacrosse, and I was like, I mean, this looks fun. So I tried it, and I remember the first game, I hit one kid, and I was like, oh, this is for me. And from there, the love of the sport and just it took off. And it's crazy how much you can fall in love with one thing over the years.
Right, and when you talk about falling in love with the game like that, like how important do you think like hard work and dedication is to like a sport like lacrosse? Because lacrosse is definitely a growing sport. More kids are taking it up, and that just means that there's more competition. So what's your take on that?
You just can't show up and think you're going to be better than you were 2 days ago. You have to put the work in, especially now with it blowing up as it is. You're getting kids that are playing it differently. The way like kids can play, just there's so many different aspects, different ways you can run it. The physicality is a big thing. You can't just shy away from it. So with a lot of these football kids playing to stay in shape, the physicality of the whole sport is taking it up a lot, which I like, because I like the physicality of the sport.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. I remember you used to be physical back in the day playing, so playing now must be great. But talk to me about after high school. I know you got big plans for after Hendricken. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I'm going up to Bishop Academy in Maine for a post-grad year, and with that, it's just going to be another year, get the grades up, become bigger and stronger. They play 30 games. We play Navy Prep in Newport, so I'll be down here a couple times with them. But it's going to be like college, but it's going to be less, I don't know, not as many people because it's just a one-year school. So I'm going up there for one, then I'm going to go to college and play more lacrosse, hopefully.
Yeah, so tell me about your decision to, which most kids are doing nowadays, is taking that post-grad year rather than going straight to a 4-year. So tell me what really made your like decision to bounce to a post-grad rather than a 4-year college.
When I played up the tournament with you guys, that's when I got a notice from the coach, and I was like, I don't know if this is really for me, just because there's so much money and stuff like that. So I said to the coach, and I got some good financial aid off, and then I went up to visit, and I stepped on the turf, and I was like, this could be a place for me, and just from going on there, I was like, really talked to the coach, and I thought this could be the best decision for me. And me and my family sat down and talked about it, and that's the best thing for me right now. Just another year.
Nice. Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, talking a little bit about school too. Another thing to talk about is Hendricken. So, tell me what really drove you, being a kid from Cranston, rather than going to the public school route, sticking to the private school and going to Bishop Hendricken.
So I would play roots in the what's his name? I forget his name. Coach Murray. I forget his first name. He was a really big influence in my life just for being a coach, and he invited me up to play with their high school team when I was in 8th grade, and he was really the driving force to me even looking at that school. And freshman year, he passed away due to cancer, so I really never got to play for him. And then Coach Howland stepped in, and I learned a lot from him too. So it's just going off one coach. Kids don't realize how much one coach can really affect you. And with him affecting me, I wanted to go there. I wanted to play for him. I just wanted to be the best I could be for him,
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good to see.
Now, Aidan, you mentioned a little bit about after prep about hopefully playing some more lacrosse definitely in the future. Do you have any idea of where you may want to transfer to, or any other coaches reach out to you, or even not, or do you want to go to school based on a profession that you're looking at right now? Or
I mean, I'm not a big school guy, but lacrosse going to really make me go to school. So a couple coaches had talked to me saying, like, we have a roster spot for you. And I talked to him saying, like, my grades aren't that great, so I'm going to do another year, hopefully get that GPA up a little high, get more academic money, and hopefully a scholarship to go play somewhere.
I see.
That's good. That's smart. I mean, we see kids over the years that are doing the post-grad year to really boost their grades, also boost their recruitment and being out, especially playing better competition now, going up there. You also mentioned playing Navy Prep, playing a bunch of teams up there, playing 30 games is a lot. And now tell me, you're going to be staying on campus up in Maine?
Yeah, so they have a couple of dorms that all the kids stay on, so I'll be up there staying. And then I get to come down, I think, for Thanksgiving for a while and Christmas, so I'll be back and forth. But, yeah, I'll be on campus.
Now, Aidan, growing up, did you play? I know you mentioned baseball. Were there any other sports that you took part in, or have really shaped really who you are today, or maybe helped you in like the lacrosse road?
I played soccer in 7th and 8th grade, and I know it's kind of far from lacrosse, but just seeing the field differently. I mean, just playing a different sport too. You get to see how people move, and you kind of mimic how the kids move in that. And especially with soccer, it's the bigger field because it's just wider and stuff like that. So you have to look at it a different way. So when I'm dodging or if I'm looking for someone, I gotta look differently. And it sounds weird, but it does work playing another sport and stuff like that.
I feel you. And tell me about the whole mask situation. And have you practiced or played any games recently with the masks, preparing for high school year?
Yeah, I've been training with the mask on, and it is brutal, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And they're going to want a mouth guard too, so there's going to be bodies hitting the floor because it's hard to breathe with the mouth guard and add a mask.
Right.
But,
I mean, hey, whatever we can get. I mean, if we can get some sort of a season, even though it's shortened, and I mean, at least it's something. At least we don't get to lose out on our senior year. That's just like our junior years.
I mean, I'll wear a mask if we can play. I'm not going to be mad about that, but we need to play,
Yeah, definitely. Now going back to like CLCF and Coach Steve McGuire, and Coach Steve was definitely like where it all started for probably our class, and we would always I remember we would always be sick and tired of doing all like the fundamentals in practice. But looking back on like the easier days of lacrosse, but how it first started, how do you feel was like the importance of CLCF? Do you feel as though definitely shaped the player that you were? Because I remember you were an unstoppable force playing on CLCF, being able to play every position on the field, and of course just being how you said you love the physicality of the game. So how would you say that CLCF kind of like set like the building blocks for you?
I mean, some of those drills were annoying, but now I don't scoop with one hand. I've always got two hands on the stick. Ass to grass works a lot, got to get down to get the ball. It's all those little annoying things that you look back on that you're like, I hated doing this, but now you do it in the game and you're like, oh my God, if coach saw me now, he'd be happy.
Right.
Yeah. Now, talk to me a little bit about your guys' season. Now, have you guys like gotten together, maybe hopped in some calls or talked about anything for this upcoming year?
Yeah. So we, our coach tries to get a Zoom meeting once a week just to see all the guys, which is good. We go over some plays, which, I don't know how fast the games are going to be coming. I don't know if we're going to have a couple weeks or it's going to be a couple of days to the first game. So now we're going over film from 2 years ago, new plays. So we get the new guys in the loop and everything, and then refresh all us seniors' minds to the game and stuff.
Yeah, how's it feel to also, because I know you have such a strong senior class, but how does it feel to also get some of these freshmen and sophomores that are technically both going to be first years on the team? So it's a pretty big new coming class for you guys. How how you taking in all the new kids coming onto the team?
I think some of the kids need to realize that it's still their first year, so the sophomores don't have to freak out as much because they're gonna think, oh, like this is my first year. But we're all here to like help each other out, which these kids are realizing now with the Zooms and seeing the kids in the hallway and recognizing faces, saying hi to them, and just making them feel like they're already a part of the team helps.
Right. Now, Aidan, so are you guys, or are you personally, are you in school right now?
Yeah, so end of the alphabet goes Thursday, Friday, which I'm in. So it's good to get back and see some of the kids, especially now with football starting. And it's the vibe of the school is kind of getting back to where it needs to be.
I gotcha.
How about you guys?
Yeah, for right now, we can go back to school. I'm still at home.
Yeah, same here.
I'm still at home just for the fact that when last time I went in, I was the only one in. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't want to be I didn't want to sit I didn't think it was worth sitting in the lunchroom by myself when I could be home doing the same thing. But I would love to go back to school, but just the fact that I don't want to be alone in school. That's just kind of my where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna go to our last segment.
All right.
All right, we are back with the OSA podcast. Podcast presented by SFBNRI. I'm Nico, co-host a good buddy Chris, and we are here with an old friend of ours, Aidan Robinson from Bishop Hendricken. And Aidan, you made it to our last segment, which we call the OSA lightning round questions, which is like 10 questions just for everybody at home to kind of get to know you more. So just 10 random questions. Our first question is your favorite fast food place.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, that definitely. But it sucks that you have to wait in like a line for like an hour.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's worth it though. I'll take it, but it's not the best way to go like when like you're starving.
Yeah.
But our second question is your favorite thing to drink besides water.
I'm a big iced tea guy.
Iced tea.
Arnold Palmer.
A couple guys say iced tea. Arnold Palmer, right?
Yeah.
It's been like it's a hot pick right there. Our next one is your go-to gas station snack.
Like drinking snack or just snack?
Yeah, sure. You're drinking snack.
Definitely a Mountain Dew, and then the like the little chocolate rolls with the cream in the middle. I forget what they're called.
The cupcake thing?
No, the Swiss roll ones.
Oh, I got you.
Okay,
I got you. Yeah. It's a good one. Our next one is if you could have dinner with anyone in the world right now, who would it be? You could pick dead and then alive.
Dead? I don't know about dead, but alive? Oh, this is a good one. I don't even know. Joe Biden, just for shits and gigs.
That's a new one. Haven't heard that one yet.
That is a new one. Now, next one is your favorite pro athlete as of right now.
Sergio Perkovic.
Oh, yeah, man,
a beast. Our next one is your favorite TV show or your favorite movie if you don't watch TV, or you can give us both. Up to you.
TV show, WandaVision. I've been watching that a lot lately.
Oh yeah,
my dad's on that show. My dad, yeah.
And then I don't really have a favorite movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too many of them. Next one is, what do you value most in life? Kind of a deeper question.
Friendship goes a long way.
Definitely.
Good one.
If you could eat one food and not gain any weight from it, what would you eat?
Probably something sweet. I'm not sure though. Cake, definitely cake. Chocolate cake from Greg's.
Oh, Greg's. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Which event in life would you want to live through again?
First day of freshman year after football in the summer, seeing all my friends for the first time in school.
That's good.
That was a good one. I thought you were going to mention our 0-16 CLCS career, but
you don't have to bring that up.
That was rough.
And our last question is your favorite place to travel. Favorite place you have traveled to, and then like a place that you would love to travel to.
Favorite place would probably be Florida, near my grandparents' house, because it's like an older community, but there's golf courses everywhere, so you get to get on the golf
for
course
you.
in the middle.
Right.
And then dream place, Cancun.
That's a big one. Yeah,
that is a big one. But that's all the questions we have for you, Chris. Anything else?
Nothing else. I just want to say thank you for hopping on the show, giving us a little bit of time and a little bit of insight on yourself. And I'd like to wish you and everyone else at Hendricken good luck this year up in D1.
Thank you. I wish you guys the best of luck too.
Thanks, Aidan.
Man, you have a good one.
All right. I think that concludes our show tonight. So we apologize. We apologize for the short shows we've been having due to our busy work schedules and school and everything in our personal life going on. Chris has been really involved with SFBN. They've been covering basically every square inch of high school sports.
Yeah.
So definitely a growing business there for sure. Chris has had his hands full the past couple of days. I've had my hands full a couple of days with work and everything. But like usual, this is the OSA podcast, OSA State Athlete Podcast, presented by SFBNRI. We'll be back here every Thursday night at 9:00 with a new guest. So stay tuned for that. And
make sure you follow our social medias, SFBNRI on YouTube as well as Instagram and Facebook, and also our RI Hockey on Instagram. Got a lot of stuff coming for RI Hockey, such as Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Grinder of the Year, give anything we can think of.
Best hair.
Best hair, that was one of them. We'll give that to someone good. And also we're going to be doing rankings. So class rankings for 21, 22, 23, and 24. Upcoming power rankings, we got all of it, and we got a lot coming soon. But that's it for me and Nico. We'll see you guys next week.